Writing history. Please note that all the Catholic mystical theology lessons taught at Christ's School of Sacrificial Love on Mount Calvary are to be generalized to each person and his or her vital, irreplaceable, indispensable, and God-given holy apostolate of reparation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Having become one in Christ sacramentally, and while unified with his salvific mission and with his reparative suffering, for the greater honor and glory of our triune God first and foremost, and then for the massive conversion of sinners and of non-believers, for the defeat of grave evil in our time, for the restoration of Christ's Catholic Church, sacred priesthood, and people that have been desecrated and disfigured by modernism, and for the sanctification and eternal salvation of all souls, not limited to time and place, including one's own poor soul. All of the mystical theology lessons, numbering more than 1,000 from the years 2010 through 2017, have been archived along with most of Joseph Carl Publishing's material and is no longer accessible to the public. New Frontier. This traditional Catholic mystical theology lesson for every soul has to do with complete confidence in God. A 2-in-1 morning offering as Almighty God's blank check and as his blank slate before the devotion to the Holy Face of Jesus in the living room inside I Am's merry little monastery. It is very peaceful, and after making your offering to him, Almighty God informs you that you are writing history. I'll do anything for you, Lord. Remember, you represent his work of reparation to the Holy Face of Jesus and each person's vital, irreplaceable, and indispensable holy apostolate of reparation. While entering the blissfully quiet traditional Catholic Church named after St. Joseph, located in suburban Detroit, you greet the Divine Infant of Detroit. Strong start. Prior to Holy Mass, the 30-day novena to St. Joseph continues. Also offered to Almighty God are the prayers of reparation to the Holy Face of Jesus, which continue to be offered as the Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass begins, and also offered is an apostolic act of contrition. So grateful to all for the holy silence in church before and after Holy Mass. Everything already is so very beautiful, 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 beautiful. The Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass celebrated in Latin at 8 o'clock in the morning. Almighty God suddenly asks for another offering similar to what happened at this time here the day before. The SSPX celebrant today is different. This offering is what I Am had your family give up, including getting together this weekend. What happens next is such an incredible wonder. The divine supernatural manifestation of what's coming on what is going to be a very big weekend during the spring of 2018 in suburban Detroit, for the sake of the whole world in our time. What takes place is absolutely incredible in the holy silence and in the holy hiddenness, in the holy reverence, as the very beautiful celebration of the traditional Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass continues in the natural, here inside this small Catholic church. First, Almighty God takes you forward in time, and then he returns back in time to this moment. He shows you what will take place during the consecration, and it will be similar to what took place a little later in the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass the day before, as the celebrant Father received the Blessed Sacrament. The offering Almighty God requested will be presented by Saint Joseph on this day, who will bring it to the Immaculate Mother of God, and it is in this manner that it will pass through the celebrant pastor of this SSPX traditional Catholic Church, who is performing his sacred duties However, unlike yesterday when this took place without any forewarning, very suddenly and violently, passing through the celebrant by entering his chasuble where the cross is on the back, today this will take place very gently and not by surprise. Then it is manifested that this offering will be sealed by Christ personally, with his having sacrificed his life for our sake, using his precious blood, and this seal will be provided by his own divine, sacred, transpierced hand. What did he come to provide just the other night, after you had retired in your room? A divine helping hand. Almighty God then reveals that there is a massive supernatural detoxing taking place this weekend for the sake of the whole world in our time in general, and for Christ's sacred priesthood, meaning for priests in need in particular. As the celebration of the Holy Reception within the Holy Celebration, within the Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass continues, Almighty God reveals that the people at this small traditional Catholic church in suburban Detroit are helping write history. Almighty God then reveals that the offering he asked for today also includes the sacrifices made, as he willed, with purity of intention and devoid of self-interest, by Christ's traditional Catholic remnant who worship God alone at the Slovak parish in suburban Detroit, here in Detroit and around the world in our time. Then I Am says that those taking up his work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus as he asks are helping write history. He mentions the people here at this Catholic church in particular as helping write history because his work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus is here. The work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus is here because it was welcomed here after being unwelcomed by the modernists working for Lucifer at the Slovak parish in suburban Detroit, where I Am had reintroduced it in 2012 for the sake of the whole world in our time. What a joy it is to be here. Insert this part of the lesson over and over through the entire Holy Sacrifice of the Mass once again this morning. After suddenly crash landing during the spring of 2017 at this SSPX traditional Catholic church that had been presented in your dreams as both familiar and yet unfamiliar, and also as authentic traditional Catholic, it was love at first sight not just for you, but also for I Am's work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus, which Almighty God subsequently personally wed to Christ's SSPX in 2017, and then shortly after that, he supernaturally established it inside every SSPX, traditional Catholic church and school worldwide, and then personally and very privately consecrated the whole world to the holy face of Jesus. At first you used to remark to yourself during every magnificently beautiful celebration of the Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass here at St. Joseph's, "Now I can die happy." Then that very joyful thought evolved into, "Now I can live happy." Then it became, "I am so happy." This wonderful thought and prayer of thanksgiving to our triune God occurs at various times of each celebration of the Holy Banquet, within the Holy Celebration, within the Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass here. Imagine. Truly, no wedding banquet hall could be finer, no structure more indestructible, no reception more lavish, no gold put to better use, no candles could burn brighter, no linens could be more sacred, no eternal Father more generous, no divine bridegroom more loving, no immaculate Mother more caring, no wedding guests more grateful to be here, no celebration more pure, no attendance more genuine, no vows longer lasting, no mission of more importance, no garments more regal, no singing more beautiful, no silence more expressive, no humble and properly prepared leaders better suited to lead, no children more blessed, no expressions more royal, no gifts more valuable, no event more meaningful, no gratitude more overflowing, and no memories more cherished. The consecration, what incredible wonders! All takes place as Almighty God said that it would, through Christ unified as one with his SSPX, which had been wed by I Am in 2017 to his work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus, for the sake of the whole world in our time, which is in very serious Luciferian-inspired trouble. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So grateful. The celebrant pastor consumes the Blessed Sacrament. What took place yesterday at this very beautiful moment already took place today, at the time of the consecration, during an incredible two-way exchange with perfection of total self-giving, while Jesus, our Redeemer, Restorer, and Remedy for all, just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, and now there is something else. The celebrant is the pastor of this Catholic Church, which welcomed I Am's work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus, and the offering Almighty God asked for, which he received through this pastor, is also sealed with the gift of his life, meaning with his sacred priesthood, with the giving of himself as I Am willed, in persona Christi. It was so incredibly beautiful, 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 and also very deeply affecting, so pure, so genuine, so truly sacrificially loving. Holy Communion, what a joyful morning. It was pure bliss to be unified with Christ anew sacramentally on this divine royal wedding day inside of God's house, where he alone is worshipped, served, and adored, where the people are properly caring, and where there isn't any modernist nonsense. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So grateful to God for everything. From the powerful booklet, Mary Crushes the Serpent. A faithful soul is more powerful than hell, but a crucified soul is more powerful than 1,000 hells. This student, teacher, typist's personal manifesto. I love Almighty God's merry little monastery. I love the home St. Joseph found for my young family when we were terribly suffering. I love where St. Joseph led us to church at St. Joseph's. I love assisting at the Tridentine Holy Sacrifice of the Mass every single morning God allows it, when he doesn't have me remain on Mount Calvary. I love God's plans. I love the back pew. I love accomplishing all that he asks of me in union with Christ crucified in 3 ways. I love my family. I thank God for my 3 children. I love the way I dress and do my hair. I love my friends. I love the gardens all around my house. I love the 2 streets on which we live. One of the streets' names has Mary in it. I love our staircase to the 2nd floor, and that we host 2 devotions to the holy face of Jesus, 1 on each floor. I love the neighborhood in which we live. I love Michigan. I love our kind neighbors and the good people who help with the grass. I love my mission and the work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus. I love the Holy Family, and I am so grateful to our triune God for the traditional Catholic mystical theology lessons sent almost always on a daily basis, sometimes even 2 in one day. I am so glad that I was able to do what I did as God willed and for so long, at great personal expense, without receiving any financial compensation for it, and while getting beat up plenty by so many short-sighted people in love with their own wills and or money, which is the root of all evil. So grateful to God for everything. From the powerful booklet, Mary Crushes the Serpent. The demons maintain that the sins of men give them power over men. They say that God permits demons to keep what they have won through the misdirected free will of man, and only the free will of man can take from them. what the free will of man has given them. Through the willful suffering of victim souls, the demons are deprived of that which men have given them through sin. To learn more about Almighty God, our Father of mercies, work of reparation to the holy face of Jesus, and your vital, irreplaceable, indispensable, and God-given holy apostolate of reparation, visit www.theworkofreparationtotheholyfaceofjesus.com. Jesus said to Sister Mary of St. Peter, "By my holy face you will work wonders, appease the anger of God, and draw down mercy on sinners," and he still means it.